what's up everybody? It is Dave and welcome back to our vlog of the reading of the New Testament. We're currently still in the book of Matthew. This is day 2, and so we are going to begin with Matthew chapter 2. So if you recall, yesterday we talked about one of the differences between the genealogy that's read in Matthew versus I mentioned Mark and Luke, but it's actually in Luke. So the book of Matthew goes back to Abraham, and in Luke 3 verses 23 through 38, if you have a chance to go ahead and scan ahead and read that, you'll notice that Luke actually takes the genealogy from Joseph all the way back to Adam. So if you're curious about that lineage and all, you can definitely take a look at it in Luke chapter 3, 23 through 38. Now, with that being said, there is some discussion also in the fact that maybe Matthew was writing more towards those of Jewish tradition or more of a Jewish background, which obviously that was the main background during that time frame, but more speaking to the Jewish Christians, and that possibly Luke was speaking more to the newfound Christian group that was there in his area. So, and the reason why that is just because Matthew just goes back to Abraham, which is kind of like the father, so to speak, of the Israelites, and at least that's my interpretation. So I could be wrong. I'm by no means all schooled up on this. So if you disagree, then feel free to put a comment down below and let me know what you think and why you disagree. Or if you agree, I'd love to hear your comments from that as well. So without that further ado, we will go into Matthew chapter 2. And if you're following along, like I said in the first video, we do use the King James Version. So if you're using something else, obviously it'll sound a little bit different. But alright, so this one starts out with the Magi's visit. So here we go. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, Art thou Bethlehem in the land of Judea, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, and said, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened up their treasures, they presented unto him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. The next portion covers their flight into Egypt. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, so we're going back a little bit, not sure why they went out of order this way in my opinion, but here we go. Then Herod, when he had saw that that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which the prophet spoke by Jeremy the prophet, saying, In Ramah there was a voice heard, lamentations and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they are not. The last portion of chapter 2 is going to be the return to Nazareth. But when Herod was dead, going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier in the chapter here, behold, an angel of the Lord appeareth in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. And he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. But when he had heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea, in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go thither. Notwithstanding, being warned of God in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee. And then he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophets, He shall be called a Nazarene. So that concludes today's reading of chapter 2 of Matthew. I'd love to hear any comments that you guys might have. I'm posting this video on YouTube. You can check it out at youtube.com/EverDave. And then it's also going to be on Facebook on my normal page, and then my By Faith Clothing page as well. So if the video's not working on one of the pages, at least you can get to it the other way. So I thank you all for spending these little over 7 minutes with me, and hope you guys have a blessed day. God bless. See you tomorrow.